Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rise of the Podcast. I am Jeremy.
I'm Kara. Wait, I'm not Kara. I'm Dave. See Sam Fisher, and not Dave from work. Friend Dave.
And I'm confused. No, and I'm Brownie.
Oh my goodness, David, we've done 174 previous episodes. Is this 175?
Yep.
That's a good number to be on here. Now, you were behind the camera last week.
I was behind the camera last week. I played a game with Chris the week before.
You did! Yeah. That was actually... Are we already got a blackout?
Yep.
Who did?
Kara. Who do you think?
Kara, you absolute troll. Absolute troll. There are people here, Kara, signed into chat for some good quality entertainment. We have a standard to keep. I'm talking about Cam's uncle. Username Cam's uncle. And I watched the AI thing, but we're going to get to that in a little bit after we talk about Star Wars.
Well, so JCan72 says, yeah, 175.
Woo-woo.
Asher says he's finally on, crying while laughing emoji.
Is Kara serious?
Dave subscribed at tier 1. He's been subscribed for 6 months. And Kara redeemed a spin the wheel of mystical fortune, and I'm going to turn the lights back on because she did the wheel redeem.
Oh, that's so bright when those come back on.
Me too.
I can hit it here.
All right. What if it's a Kara Lego walk?
Then I guess it's a Dave Lego walk. I can't read what it says. Custom Kara emote. So Dave, you have to make an emote for somebody.
No, Kara redeemed the wheel spin.
Yeah, but so Kara gets to have Dave make an emote.
Oh, Kara gets to have you make
This is going to be great.
All right, Kara, what emote do you want Dave to make?
Oh my goodness.
You can just draw a picture and send it to me and I'll turn it into a digital thing.
That is going to be hilarious. That actually probably should go on there. That would be really funny.
It'll only take like 2 weeks to get approved.
Right.
Oh, so we have fancy new emotes now.
Are we on auto approve now finally?
No, but the things finally went through. So we have three updated versions. We have a new tangent time, even though the old tangent time popped up. We have a new and improved Fire Nation and a new and improved Blame chip.
Nice. Kara, you get to pick the emote. You don't have to make it. You get to pick it.
Yeah, you get to pick it.
I'm going to make an emote.
And Dave's going to draw a picture for me, and then I'll turn it into a full-on emote from there.
So she said, no, but it would not be a Star Wars podcast if we didn't talk about Star Wars. And I want to talk about what is
what's going on here. Hold on. Okay.
What? It worked, though.
I don't know why I did that. It was just a hiccup in the Matrix. Hold on.
Ah, David! David without a beard or mustache! Oh my goodness!
That doesn't look anything like you. You look like a completely different person.
My face looks twice the size.
Yeah.
No, so what I wanted to talk about tonight...
Go like this, Dave. Over the eyes. There you go.
This came out really, really nice. So, Dave, tell us about this really quick.
So
oh no, you turd.
My girls want to do a costume contest, and the whole family is going to go, or their cousins, as different Star Wars characters. And my girls have Darth Vader pajamas and Stormtrooper pajamas. So they already had different plans, but I decided to print a helmet for them. So this is my first ever 3D printed helmet, and it came out way better than I was expecting.
So Kara is foiling your show and tell by Snapchat filtering you.
Now you can can see
so
the absolute insanity it is when you're trying to do something cool.
So Cam says hello all. Yeah. Jim says Cam. That's not Dave. Kara says, oh my gosh, Dave, you look hilarious. Ashley says, no!
It's been a long time since I haven't had any facial hair.
J-Can says, Dave, oh no. Kara says, don't ever shave or go bald. Ashley says he looks like a baby. Guardian Angel,
that's my mom.
That's your, oh yeah. The LOL or LUL. And then Ashley says, the beard is gone, I'm dying. And J-Can says, a baby banana.
Otherwise, I was like, it's impressive if it was bridged.
Yeah. So Chad has been caught up with. So now if you want to, I don't know if you want to finish your show.
Finish your show and tell.
It took about 63 hours, and I streamed on my channel most of it. And I didn't do any measuring. I made it as big as my printer could go. and it just barely fits over my youngest head, but her nose pokes out the front. So, and now I'm in the process of making a Darth Vader helmet for my oldest, and it's 38 different pieces.
Oh, so I was gonna tell. So, and like, if there are parts that I can print, do you have matte black or regular black?
I'm using the printed solid Jesse black.
Okay.
I do have another roll, but I'm almost empty with the one I'm on now. So
if there's parts of that you want me to print, I could try and print that. Oh, nice.
Who is spamming all these?
Mike D dropped off the CR6 Max.
yeah,
If you're gonna be ripping helmets,
dude, they're so much fun. I have helmet fever now.
It could reside at your place for a while if you're interested.
If I would known you were getting it back, I would have held off and just had you print it.
Well, what I'm saying is like if you want to rip some
would be
helmets
cool.
off on that.
I had a blast printing this helmet, and I am definitely gonna print more in the future.
So from what I can't believe is that even though it's scaled down, the thickness stayed the same, and it feels like extremely good quality. And then looking at I know it's so much faster, and we need to go to a 0.6 or a 0.8.
Yes.
But the fact that you did this with a 0.4 nozzle,
0.4 nozzle
the
at a
resolution,
0.3 layer height.
This doesn't even need any touching. Anything that's wrong with it, it's like battle damage. It's like it looks.
There's a few little scars.
Perfect, absolutely perfect. It's too bad it can't fit her without the visor. Or that that it's just a hair too small. But even as a display piece, this thing is incredible. Now, are you going to print the fin?
I could, I guess. Yeah, I should.
You just have to make it the same size, and
it was 85% scale.
You should try to print the fin.
I should,
because it would look cool with the fin. Just even as a display piece, I can see why you're addicted to printing it.
It was fun. It was very nerve-wracking getting up to the dome because I did not support the very top of the dome. So once it was getting up there, that last 4 or 5 hours of the print was very nervous. And
you look on the inside in the dead center. It actually is cool.
It's a little stringy.
It's a little stringy.
But I mean, it's fine because that's where you'd have whatever spacer you'd want to put in to hold it the right. Kara says she's subbing herself.
What a butt!
Thanks for 1/3 of the money that you're spending, Kara.
I can't even.
Oh, so you know what's funny? So Mike D was here the other night. He saw the helmet that we printed for you.
Yeah.
And he went to put it on because he's got a giant head too. You, me, and him have the 3 biggest heads of anybody that I know.
Yeah.
And Mike's head, I think, is bigger than both of ours.
Crazy.
And he went to put it on. And he's like, oh wow. And he puts it on. Then he got nervous for a second, he wouldn't be able to take it off, and then it popped right off.
Nice.
And he's like, I've never just picked something up that I thought would maybe fit my head and had it fit.
I thought that this would actually go down on my head, maybe to the top of my ears or the top of my glasses. Nope. I feel like one of those Lego characters when you get the helmet disguise in the game, and they're just like, hurdy, hurdy, hurdy. Because that's what it looks like. But this thing feels like quality, David.
June wants me to try cutting it right here, cutting this lip off.
Yeah.
Because she thinks it would fit on. She got it almost on her head.
Cut off on this one?
Yeah, I don't know that I would, but that's what she was saying. Cut that off, and then it'll fit me. But that came out too good. I don't want to cut that one.
The helmet is so nice.
So Cam wants to know how the burns are doing.
Very, very good. You probably can't even see them on the camera. There's a little discoloring, so it was all the way down to here, my whole wrist there. I don't know. I can't tell from here, but
you can't see much.
It's pretty much good.
What I can't believe is there's not scars really. I can see right there.
JCan72 said a cone head LOL J3.
I did find out that it is still sensitive to high heat.
When you were reaching by that transmission.
My first day back to work, I stuck my hand down in an engine bay, and I didn't touch anything, but just the heat down there, I just about screamed and pulled it out very quick.
So before we get too deep in, I have this is the 50 best side characters in Star Wars, where we're just doing the top 10.
Okay, I was 50
That's going to take a while.
So, and I just hit skip until I got to the top 10, so I don't know who the other 40 are. Maybe the people that we like would be in there. I have to say right now, number 10 is terrible.
Oh boy, is it the Millennium Falcon?
No.
Kara's not
number
here to
one.
defend herself.
It's probably number one.
Guardian Angel said, except the shirt is still
The skin
The
is still
skin.
thin.
It is still a little thin.
It is a little thin.
I get a little scrape, and it like a deep scrape when it's barely
as
anything.
a 1 second tangent, it's really funny because David has talked about Gas Monkey, and that was the shirt that he was wearing. And he's talked about it and talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. I am now finally addicted to the show after you got started on fire wearing the shirt. It's really good. It's really good.
I love it.
It is.
It is a good show.
It is a very good show.
All right, so the number 10 Star Wars side character of all time.
Number 10.
The skull of Bidlow Quirv.
Oh, boo. Are you kidding me? That's not number 10?
The 10th best side character. Do you know who that is?
No.
I have no idea who it is.
When Luke throws that skull to slam the door shut on the Rancor.
Come on.
That guy's skull.
What?
They named
It's somehow
that-
the 10th best side character in Star Wars.
So, for the record, that makes it a little bit cooler.
Well, so apparently the dude has a really sick backstory, according to the article write-up, but it shouldn't be the guy's skull. It should be the guy.
Right. I will say this. Again, when something new, I learn something new about Star Wars, now, it always is really cool. Never knew that guy had a backstory. Never think to give that guy a backstory.
Yep.
I wonder if that's
So
in the Return of the
he
Jedi different point of view book. I wonder if that's what it is.
He ended up in the Rancor pit after losing out to be Bib Fortuna's position with Jabba.
Got it. Got it.
Chris, I sent you the picture of my daughter wearing the helmet.
And then I want to.
My wife gave permission to post. You can put it up if you want.
There's no real identify. All you can see is her nose.
You can see her nose, but
That's hilarious. And then Cam redeemed a wheel spin
nope.
too. You might
No,
as well
spin that.
hit that.
Kara movie review.
All right, so
Ooh.
in this case, we will save
I'll
it
say
for
that one I'm not doing.
We'll save that for Kara. So, Kara, what movie do you want, or Cam, what movie do you want Kara to review?
And she doesn't get to tell you no because she's not here. So
Yep.
And another funny thing is, Cam pulled me aside and he's like, Kara is missing a movie review. So on air, let's determine. I know what it is. Let's determine if you guys remember it or not to validate it.
Oh my gosh, this image is somehow massive.
I sent a high quality photo, Chris.
Look at that.
If you
little
guys saw the
trooper.
way I was sitting, you would realize how hard it is to do this.
Look at that little trooper. That is incredible.
Yeah, like on this scale, instead of like on the phone, it's way easier to see the nose is definitely
Yeah.
sticking out.
It would be really funny though if you did just do like a black like nylon or something,
Yeah.
and then
You probably wouldn't really notice.
You wouldn't because it would take the shadows,
Yeah.
and it would.
Kara said she didn't watch the one from last week. Was there a movie review last week?
So here's what Cam said Kara owed was The Legend of Bagger Vance. Is that the one that Kara owes? Because I don't remember that being suggested.
I do remember that being suggested, but that was like 3 weeks ago.
Does she still owe one for last week, or is that the one Kara was thinking about maybe? So is there another one?
I think she owes another one. Yeah, Cam says, but there's another one from like 3 weeks ago also. So, Cam and
She's two behind?
Yeah, well, who'd have thought? Kara's shirking responsibility.
Oh, man.
Can't blame Chip for that one.
Nope, not at all. That's pretty cool. How excited was she when you showed her that?
Oh, they were both super excited.
The best part about it is I can't wait at all to give someone a gift. I just get way too excited. The funny thing was it took 2.5 days to print.
So it was down in the basement in the office, which there's no door on the office. They can go in there at any time. And I told them for 3 days, do not, if you go in the basement, go into the office. Do not go in there. As far as I know, they didn't.
Well, and you had it.
Pirate Radio is the other one.
Got it. Pirate Radio. We'll have to write these down, or Kara can write it down because she's got her phone. You were streaming it, so I'm pretty sure
Yes.
you would have heard him like giggle or, like.
I had the mics muted, but
Oh, true. Maybe a shadow.
you would have seen a shadow.
He would have seen a shadow. But they were surprised, right?
Oh, they were very surprised.
And the best part about it is you can't give it to them early
Right.
because it's still printing. It would be horrible if it failed, though, and you're like, oh, sorry, it's another 3 days.
It finished when I was at work yesterday, and so I got home, I didn't even change. I went straight to the basement, ripped it off the printer, ripped all the supports off it, and went upstairs and showed them.
Oh, that's cool.
Asher said, Grace just now. That's why he didn't want us going into the office.
That's hilarious.
So they didn't go in there.
Well, it's good that you have well-behaved children.
Yep.
The number 9 best side character of all time in Star Wars is the head bump stormtrooper.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. I guess Star Wars has a lot of main characters,
Yeah,
then,
that's
wouldn't
true.
it?
So the number 8, Biggs Darklighter.
I love Biggs. I love Biggs.
I wish he didn't die.
In the scene, well, no, that's Leia handing, or she's hands. I think there's a scene of like Luke and him drinking a beer offset when they're about to go attack the Death Star.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
then Carrie Fisher hands him up a beer while he's in the X-Wing, and that was like a famous photograph, like a behind-the-scenes photograph.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, number 7, Wilrow Hood. Wilrow Hood.
Wilrow Hood.
I have no idea on that one.
I have no idea who that is.
Hood is seen for only a second or two during the evacuation of Hoth. It is in this very short snippet where it appears that Hood is desperately trying to rescue an ice cream maker.
It's that the thing that the Beskar Mando it was in. That was Cloud City, though, right? It wasn't Hoth. It shouldn't have been.
It says it turns out it's not an ice cream. For some reason, the image isn't loading. Like there's a slideshow, but you see like the slideshow image isn't there.
Yeah. Anyway, the ice cream maker is a famous thing because it was a prop. You've seen somebody running with it in Cloud City, unless it was on Hoth. And it's like, it's got a center button, you push it down, and 3 sides fold down. And they re-brought it back for the purpose of it, like in Mandalorian, that's what the Beskar is in. It's like the safe. And it was an exclusive item you could buy this year at Star Wars Celebration.
Your mom says hi to June and Grace, by the way.
Oh, if my mom knew David was on, she'd probably be watching right now, too.
IG-88, number 6.
Best character ever. But he's a main character.
IG-11 is the main character.
Oh, IG-88. He's the Empire Strikes Back
Yep.
black version of IG-88. Gotcha.
Number 5, Neon Nub.
I like that. I like it.
So I think he's good. Number 4, R5D4.
That's the red droid.
Yep.
He has a tremendously cool backstory. I like how that crashes it.
But the drop keeps going.
But the drop keeps going. That's the best part. Kara is in straight troll mode tonight, isn't
Yep.
she?
So, Carrie, you should tip like 10,000 bits.
No.
That's only $100.
No.
We're never going to be able to unfreeze otherwise. Number 3, Wedge Antilles.
Wedge is incredible. He's more main character territory.
I
to
would
me,
say
too.
so as well.
Yeah.
Number 2, Malakili,
Does it give a description?
the Rancor Keeper.
Oh,
The alive one.
boo. That's dumb.
And number 1, Max Rebo.
Oh, Max Rebo's cool. Apparently, he survived. Well, because he
The
was in.
explosion.
Yeah, because he was in Mandalorian.
Yeah, he's in Mandalorian.
Yeah. Cam did cheer one bit.
Oh, did he? All right.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's all right. I got to do a bunch of stuff since no one could see me.
I'm.
Kara is just straight up troll mode. So she does all that, and then, she's still like winning in the winner's circle from the drop. I wish somebody could undrop her. Now,
I
David,
can boot her from chat.
Oh, don't do that. She'd get real angry. I told her since she's not here, she has to actually participate from a remote. So what's up with these falling pumpkins? Is this a drop thing?
Yeah. So if you get cheers, drop is up. It'll drop like the little. Because so the Halloween theme is the one that I'm using. So it does Halloween themed.
Because it's cool, but it bumped you out of the way.
It did, didn't it?
It did. You were going on the
Yeah.
approach vector, and one of the pumpkins came down and just
I
smashed
thought I
you
was
off
on
to
a
the side.
on a good course. To
You
make
were
it in
on
there.
a good course. Okay.
So maybe that's the secret strat. Every time Kara drops, somebody needs to cheer to knock her out of the way.
Oh, there we go. Kara just cheered a bit too. Oh, she said time to die about booting her from the chat. All right. So next we're going to talk about. We make a lot of art here, okay? From 3D prints to video production. This is an art in and of itself. To
5D prints.
Horrible parody videos that shall not be named.
What? Oh, that's one of the best things we've ever made.
I agree. I agree. I like to pick up. Speaking of which, we get random comments still on episode 3 specifically is a terrible movie.
Yep. It's like a couple times a month.
That specific video gets all the comments. Specifically the terrible version of episode 3. And I love it. People just defend it vehemently. Or they're like, total trash. Movie sucks. Good. Finally, someone sees the light. I just love reading the comments on that video, and
because you can tell nobody's ever watched it.
No, they see the thumbnail, they hop on because they do care enough to comment, and then they bounce.
Yep.
And then that's it.
Yeah. If you look at the statistics on the video, the first like 12 seconds is like huge, and then it's just immediate cliff.
Brad said vehemently. Brad, you troll. What a ridiculous person. Okay, so we are going to talk tonight. I was presented this option, and I finally watched the video. And of course, Cam's uncle, Steve. Of course, Steve. Chris watches that YouTuber. Chris watches that YouTuber. So what we're going to talk about is AI art generation. All right. Now, this has completely broken my mind because I thought I had an opinion. Then I watched the video, and it didn't really change my opinion, but this is a lot to unpack here. This is an insane amount to unpack. But basically, if an AI, artificial intelligence, generates an image, is it art? Okay? Mm-hmm. Do you want me to just spill my beans?
Yeah, you can go first.
All right. So here's the deal. When I first thought about it, it's like, no, it's not art. Like that's my initial just bam, instinct, boom. AI generation? Nope, it's not art. But the question is, who does it belong to? And this is a whole thing in and of itself because there's a monkey that took a very famous photo on the internet. He grabbed the photographer's camera and he took the picture. And from what I can tell, it doesn't matter who owns the camera. Whatever photographer pushes the button, and I think we've even talked about this before, they own the rights to that image. Like they created that image, right? Mm-hmm. So the monkey hit the photograph, and so somebody else took the image and like shared it. And the camera owner who was there, like the photographer was holding it, interacting with the monkey, he was trying to say, hey, you can't use that image. And they argued that the monkey owns the copyright to the image, so they were allowed to post it.
Or I guess two things. So number one, animals are not protected by anything in the United States.
Okay.
Right. So like animals don't have any rights in court or anything like that. So it's like immediately they can't be copyright holders just by the state of them not being human beings.
Okay.
Second thing, I think by the transitive property, whoever the trainer or handler of that monkey is would be the person who would be the rights holder to it because they're the person who's directly responsible for the well-being and like training of that monkey.
And see, that's where I think like law and this stuff is interesting, right? So to clarify, let's say you had the camera. You're like taking pictures at the zoo. Yep. You put your camera down around your neck. Monkey comes up. He grabs a camera, takes a selfie. You're like, ha, 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 or whatever. You know, you post the image online, and then a bunch of people take it and they reproduce it, right?
Yep.
So you technically you think the handler then?
Yeah, whoever's responsible for that monkey, I think like because I wasn't the one who took the image, right? So it's like just because it was my gear doesn't mean I'm responsible for it in any way, right? So it's like, I think whoever is in charge of that monkey would be the person who would hold the copyright to me.
And then the interesting thing is, and this is fascinating to me. The interesting thing is, what if there is no handler?
If it's a wild animal, then I would say photographer because it's the next closest human being in the chain of custody.
So, because at some point though, don't you think it would be kind of neat if it's just like, that just nobody owns the image then?
If it just became public domain, then I think that'd be totally fine as well.
You know, like
because I think things being in the public domain is better for everybody anyway. Because like people are free to do like remixes and like whatever and blah blah blah. Real quick, I do want to hit some chat real quick.
Okay.
Brad said I'd gladly pay a monkey royalties. Carrie fancy quoted monkey royalties. Swanky said my resort room door has warnings about monkeys. I saw that in Discord.
I did see that too. That's pretty
also
good.
Swanky streamed for like a minute earlier today. Some kickboxing. That was insane. Like regular boxing is impressive enough, but like kickboxing, I can't I would immediately die if having to do a forced kickboxing match.
That is insane. Okay. So we need to be able to pause.
Sorry, Dave.
And I need to be able to get back to this point because it's really cool, but I want to talk about a tangent. So I watch a channel that takes and they restore Hot Wheels. and it's super interesting. And then I've been watching Gas Monkey Garage. So if I were to, in the spirit of, not shot for shot, in the spirit of, do like an episode of Gas Monkey with Hot Wheels, where does it draw the line between parody and straight up like, you can't do this because you're copying it? So, and I'll give you an example. He goes out and finds a barn find. He pulls it out of the weeds. He either straight flips it or fixes it. They'll usually do like one fix up per episode, and then they'll do like 3 flips. So it's like, I like find a Hot Wheel or 3 Hot Wheels. I like flip 3 and then do 1.
Have you seen American Restoration?
Yes.
It's the same show, but with junk.
But I want to do it like, in my mind, I think a straight parody. He always like takes his hair and like combs it back because he's like stressed out about the garage costing too much money. Then it cuts to shots of the mechanic. Like, I want to do it.
You're 100% fine. The copyright protection thing protects the thing that was actually made. It doesn't. It's like music in the medium that is recorded is what's protected, not the individual notes. Like, nobody can copyright C#. Nobody
Right.
can copyright a saxophone, right? So you're using the same basic acquisition elements.
Yeah.
But you're making something completely different. Even if you made a shot-for-shot remake of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, it would still be defensible as being a completely separate work. Even though you're using all the same stuff, it's not the same movie.
But wouldn't the script be protected?
The script is protected. But like if you change the dialogue slightly, I guess. But it like
In the way that I would do it.
so
too,
the thing is, like, if you did a shot for shot remake of him pulling it, like, let's say he found like a 68 Corvette.
Yep.
Right. And you found a 68 Corvette Hot Wheel.
it's already funny because it's
If you did literally the exact same thing, including the parts that wouldn't make any sense for you, like being stressed about your garage or whatever.
yeah.
That's where it starts becoming a problem.
Okay. But you, without changing much, you could instantly see because
You could do the same style show.
Yeah.
There's 30 shows that are, let's find a thing, let's make it better and sell it. Or let's
Right.
find a thing, let's sell it for more because they don't know what they have here. That's every show on the History Channel.
The funny thing about it though, Richard would be the type of person who would like actually take offense to it and not think
yeah.
it's incredible because it's just the way he is. Kara cannot stand the main character of the show, but that's why I wanted to throw in like the hair rubs and like
Cam's uncle wants to know how he gets somebody to shoot David with Nerf guns.
I mean,
So
I can
unfortunately, I'm not
try
able-
shooting myself since I'm the one that shoots
Oh.
the Nerf guns.
If Jeremy wants to do it, I guess.
Well, I'll give you the gun.
Is this an acceptable distance?
I guess we'll find out.
Hey! He said David.
What?
No,
No, did he?
If he just chips her job.
Oh, nobody redeemed anything for it though. I'm not giving this away for free.
Yeah.
We're suckers for money here.
So they wanted to know, right? They'd have to tip bits. They'd have to tip some bits.
I'll give you a deal. We have to wire the Nerf guns to shoot automatically when money is redeemed.
Then
It's
I'm out of a
doable.
job.
Don't even get me started. Cam was going down the path of
Oh, all right.
making them auto. Of course. Now, did he say David or just both of us? Because I'll take the bullets.
He didn't.
Well, I mean, he did specifically ask to shoot me.
Yeah.
Oh, David, I'm
I'll
sorry.
remember this. Oh, right center mass.
They do sting, don't they? It's probably a little close. Ah!
I hit the top of the camera on the way out.
Oh, I love it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
I'm sure that sounded incredible because this thing is spooling up right next to my microphone.
Man, everybody's. What did you do? Dave is getting just flamed in the chat.
Yeah,
Getting
well, I
the
shot
revenge
Dave
for all
4
the shots
times.
I've gotten at you, I guess.
Oh, apparently. Kara, I justify, but
I'll remember that, Kara.
You
Winter's
should.
coming, and then I'm not busy, so I'll be here every weekend.
But anyways, okay. So sorry, that was a humongous tangent on, but it is similar note. Okay, so can AI generated images, are okay? All right. So here's my thought process.
Yep. I want to hear out all of your stuff before I say anything.
As it is right now, I would look and put an AI generated image or an AI generator. I would put it on par with a camera. It is a tool for an artist to use to create an image. And the reason why I say that is as the technology sits at this time, you have to give the AI prompts. And because of that specific thing, it needs your input. It won't just sit there and then spit something out. You have to give it a prompt. Whatever it is, it starts the ball rolling for it. So it's still not self-aware enough to be like, I want to create art, you know? And then also, I feel like we're just maybe giving a little bit too much credit, and it might not be AI. I feel it's more of an algorithm. And if that's the case, it almost should belong to the person who wrote the code for the, you know, like whoever made it, you know, they could, you know,
That's what I was thinking.
you know, would own it because they created that in itself is a work of art, AI, and then the AI is creating stuff, you know, which is really interesting.
Well, so is that thought
That
over?
sums up my thought process.
So I agree for the most part, but I think this is a parallel that I think you would understand, for especially specifically addressing your last comment about the person who wrote it. It's definitely an algorithm. It's not self-generating anything yet.
Right.
But whoever writes the algorithm, like if somebody, like does the person who made Photoshop own everything you make in Photoshop?
Right. No, they don't.
So it's like it's whoever uses the thing to make the thing.
Right.
If people think that digital art isn't actually art, then people shouldn't think that this AI stuff is art. But if people agree that somebody who does digital painting or like cool photo stuff or whatever in Photoshop is art, then algorithm generated art is absolutely art.
Right.
So, and I agree like 100% with like, it's a tool that somebody's using. You're giving it the inputs to get the parameters back. And then even the video you showed me, it's like, you can refine the generation. You're using your autonomy to say, I want it more like this. I want it more like that. So your internal decision-making directly affects the end product. So like you're saying, like you could go out tomorrow, buy some oil paints and decide to paint a picture of the lift bridge, right?
Right.
That's artistic intent. This algorithm sits there until it gets an input.
Right.
That's like it literally is completely idle. So last thing about like ownership of the thing. So it's like if the person who writes the algorithm just lets anybody who wants to use it, you own the thing that it makes.
Yeah.
If it's something that you have to get a license for and you use an unlicensed version of it, that's where it gets dicey. Like you're obviously using something without a license that you're supposed to license. That's like using like a cracked version of Photoshop or something.
Right.
Which is why even when I was making absolutely no money doing this, I insisted on paying for the Creative Cloud stuff because I wanted to make sure that nobody could go back and say, hey, you're using stolen software,
Yeah.
even though torrenting was so easy back then.
The first 27 episodes of Rise of the Podcast were not legit. Nope, they were legit because we did everything correctly. Are you?
All right. Well, so while you're on timeout, I'll address this. Like he says, it's not a pure algorithm. He said he read it on last night. The same inputs give you different results. The different results are still programmed into the way that it operates. It inputs variability into it so that it feels like it's making decisions. Like for something to be actually artificial intelligence, it has to have the autonomy to improve itself and be able to decide to do something. And I think that's why people was like, oh, AI is insane, like deep fakes or whatever. A person has to do the deep fake. A person has to say, I want a AI generated image of the Burger King sitting on a horse shooting a machine gun at McDonald's, right?
Yep.
Like those are all choices that need to be made by a human person. And even with that variability built into the thing, it's still code and you still have to put something in to make it do anything to begin with. So, man, Kara is absolutely
What about once
rude.
it learns enough where then you don't have to put input in, it just starts generating its own things.
But why would it just generate images on its own? It's like all you're gonna do is end up filling up a hard drive that nobody's ever gonna look at, right? And like machine learning isn't necessarily AI; it's algorithmic learning used to train it to do a certain thing.
Yeah.
It's like you look at all these examples of this, now make something like that.
Yep.
Like machine learning can be a part of AI, but I think that the machine learning right now is just part of this algorithmic learning process. It's like we're getting towards it, but I would disagree 100% by the definition of AI for this. Brad says Google and various other big tech companies that have complex algorithms active in their big server rooms have said they have no idea what the AI will do soon after it's implemented. Again, if Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I can't remember. Do you like or dislike? Do you have like beef with him or something? Okay, that's fine. You're off timeout.
Okay. And then remind me, because I have something to say.
But like he has stated, it's like AI, whenever it does exist, is a tool invented by man, right? If you don't put something into that AI that will stop it, it's like that's on you, basically, right? Because like even if an AI guy gets to a point where it can like rewrite itself, improve itself, make subsequent versions of itself, you can always have a kill switch built in that can't be edited out, right? You can lock that.
Yep.
You know, so it's like it can be AI in the sense of every part of the word except for like it has like, have you seen RoboCop?
Yes.
It has its prime directive is like don't kill any of the upper management of Omni consumer products.
Yep.
You can have that hidden prime directive that it never sees. It operates as though it doesn't exist until it tries to go rogue, and then the kill switch gets engaged.
Yep.
Right? So it's like it's completely possible to write something in that cannot be unwritten.
So here is something I just forgot about that I've meant to talk about before, and I wish that we could find it. And I probably should have said
No, hold on. Cam, if you're paying somebody, you own that artwork. That's how commission works. You pay somebody to draw a picture for you. You own it. That's the whole point. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. There is a website. All right. And all the information is broken down into bits in the computers, right? Somebody made a website that has every possible, it's called like the White Book or something like that. We should see if we can find it. It's got every possible combination of code in it. So if you can, so for example, let's just say cure for cancer is A squared plus B squared equals C squared, right?
That'd be convenient.
Well, we don't know that yet, right?
Yep.
But that's spelled out. That exists in the code. It's kind of like the eternal pi.
Yeah, the pi digits.
The
Eventually
pi-
there will be a sequence of numbers that represents an ASCII, whatever.
But you can like visit pages that no one's ever visited before. It's like Pandora's box. It's there, or not Pandora's box. Yeah, or Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah.
It's there. It just doesn't generate until it's been open. So you like visit the page. There's a video game called No Man's Sky, and it's got billions of planets. It's a procedurally generated world, and when like you play the game, what you experience then is procedurally generated, and then it becomes existence. Like other people can visit it. It assigns a location in cyberspace. It's a very cool concept, very cool game. They just like overhyped it and then like under-delivered, which is your Achilles heel. Like overhype, under-deliver. Very similar.
I've heard that they've done a lot better since, like on the dev side of like actually getting it to the point where they wanted it to be.
Yes. And so this website is very similar. It's got like every possible combination of code, and as you like navigate and use the web page, it'll reveal information that no one's ever visited before and like tell you stuff. And some of it's going to be random and garbage and poop, but other things it can be like, you could be shown the cure for cancer. You just didn't know that was the answer to it,
Yeah.
which is really interesting.
It is interesting.
It's like a cool concept that just reminded me of, the AI and deep and everything like that. So here is what else prompted the question. Somebody entered in, and see that's just it, right? The AI didn't enter itself into the art competition.
Nope.
It was either like maybe somebody put on an art competition and then they put one piece of AI in and then had a bunch of artists come and then they did like a judge's vest thing and then the AI generated image won. But really, boy, I'm going ham here. This is a good catalyst to spark conversation. It's the whole.
Says the guy who thought it would be a good catalyst to spark conversation.
Well, Steve told me like, hey, you should talk about this. The jelly bean thing, whereas like if you've got 1,137 jelly beans in a jar, no one comes close to guessing it. But if you average out all the answers and the more people that guess, the average guess is like either right on or within just a couple beans, right?
Yep.
So it's like collectively people are smart, but then they're not, right? So if this algorithm or AI is pulling, things on the internet, it makes sense that it would be the most appealing to human judges because it's like
on average across the judges, it's going to hit the things that they think are artistically valid and appreciated.
because it's grabbing it from somewhere else. And I'm still assuming it's got to be pulling its source from somewhere. Like when you type in dog riding rainbow, it knows what a dog is and knows what a rainbow is.
Well, it's been trained on images of these different things. And like, so I feel like the quality of the image generation is based on how many times or how long it's spent training on those specific images.
Right. And if we want to get really crazy, CAPTCHAs, the whole I'm not a robot thing, all that information is saved to determine and help AIs learn what is stuff. So when it's like, hey,
So you should just automatically fail captures a bunch of times.
a bunch of times. When it's like, hey, identify telephone poles in this picture, it measures everything. How long it took you to recognize it, what you deem is one in another, you know, and it's like enough people will, like, if they see a power, because you know when you wonder, like, if the power line is in the corner and it's just barely there, and should you click that one or not, and then you end up clicking it, if more people click it, it will consider your answer correct. So it's not it deciding whether you're correct or not. It's everybody else.
Society
Average of
deciding.
everyone.
Yeah. Isn't that mind-blowing? It hurts the brain.
It does hurt the brain.
It hurts the brain. So we've decided AI cannot generate its own art. The AI did not create a competition. The AI did not submit its art on itself. Somebody submitted AI-generated art
Yep.
on their own behalf,
Yep.
and that's what happened. So until an AI can throw its own art competition and
Or voluntarily choose to go find an art competition and think of something that it wants to make and then generate it and then enter it all autonomously.
and then the AI deserves to win it.
Well, I mean, if it wins.
It's like the whole chess thing, right? Another thing I just saw. Apparently there was a robotic Turkish chess player.
You and I have the exact same feed on Reddit.
Do we really? You saw that?
It was just a dude in a box.
It was a dude in a box, but it fooled people for like 40 years.
Yeah.
People thought it was a robot. It was really good at chess, and people would come play it, and the robot would beat everybody, and people thought it was real.
It was just a variety of different chess grandmasters hanging out inside of it.
It was really,
Nice.
truly. Yep.
Just a dude in a box. How many things have just been a dude in a box? R2D2, dude in a box.
Yep. C-3PO, dude in a box. Dude in a bin.
That guy buried in that grave, just a dude in a box.
My brain hurts. Oh, no! Why? Okay. This is really funny.
It must be this seat. Or no, because
No,
it normally
that's-
goes on you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It must be, you just, I hate to say this, you just must be more manlier than I am. Because it, you know, I got to sneeze.
I was trying to click on a Dave, but I accidentally went to the wide.
Anyways, it tends to pick me over Kara. And it's weird because it's picking you way more than me this time around. Why does it not affect my face at all?
Because you're already clean shaven. It does make you look younger.
It does a little bit.
It takes off like the 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
Which is annoying. I hate that because even no matter how far I shave that down, it doesn't go away.
So you hate the 5 o'clock shadow?
You
You'd
like
rather look
raise
like
your
this?
eyebrows and they come back.
Blink those out, AI.
Well, it's not like when Jeremy takes his glasses off, he looks horrifying.
Oh, in that.
with that filter. It's
Yeah.
like he looks like a completely different person suddenly.
I just hate that you guys can't see my eyebrows like behind my glasses because I have just humongous glasses. My coworker Rich today busted out credit card sized bifocals, and he thinks they're the cat's meow.
Like just like little ones you like hold up over.
So
your...
you pull out a credit card, and the credit card you squeeze it and it opens up. It's thickness of a credit. It goes in your wallet, and you pull it out, and they're like spring loaded. So they're like this, and then they go like this, but there's a slight cant to them. So when you put them in and you push down in the middle, they like kind of slightly overlap. But the only part that sits in your face is just the brim.
I've seen those.
And it's like he put them on, and I'm like, you're not seriously using those bifocals right now. He's like, what? It was Best Buy's deal of the day. And I'm like, dude, you look ridiculous. It's worse than the unfolding sunglasses when they dilate your eyeballs. Like you look crazy.
But do they
How
work?
old is he?
50.
Sounds about right.
Yep, sounds about right. So that was just a complete tangent to a tangent. So any chat to catch up on, or people just probably like they can't even type enough to keep up
Brad
with
said
it.
JJ overhype and underdeliver Abrams. Somebody should update his AI. Cam had mentioned something about the artist owning the work and you owning the copy or whatever, and that depends on what deal you actually sign with them. Like, so at work, I don't own any of the stuff that I make. KBJR or the client specifically owns it, depending on what it's set up at.
We've talked about this too. When you worked at Blockbuster, your private enterprise affairs were technically belong to them because you'd be like inspired at work.
Because I was working on like movie scripts and like TV scripts and stuff. Because it's related to the genre of entertainment that I was working in, they could have been considered. Like they have this standard clause built in. It's like anything developed while working here is the property of Blockbuster, intellectual property of Blockbuster. which I'm sure would normally pertain to like video security systems, anything that advances like rental technology or whatever. But it does not exclude intellectual property related to, songs, television, film, or anything like that.
So how many of those old movies that we made were made when you worked there?
I didn't make anything when I worked there.
No?
I only worked there for a year, and that was during a time where all I was doing was writing. So,
Speaking of which, those videos still need to make an appearance.
Somebody got slipped a thumb drive, and somebody
Who would have
intercepted
done that?
said thumb drive. I found it in Kara's jacket pocket when I was doing laundry like 6 months ago.
oh, with like Fumbleina and
Yes,
stuff on it? Yeah,
Frankie the Leg
that stuff's
Breaker.
never going to show up. Oh, Ryan has redeemed
Guess
the
who else still
IMDb
has
game.
copies of it?
Oh, I'm sure you do.
All right, everybody, let me know if the IMDb game music's actually playing. It's not registering on the VU meter right now, but that doesn't mean that it's not working. Anyway, for those of you who are not aware, the IMDb game works as thus. I go on to IMDb. I search the actor/actress suggested, in this case, Betty White. It is our job to determine whether or not that actor or actress has appeared in more films or fewer films than screen legend Sean Connery. And this is according to IMDb, so get off my butt. It's how they decide to break it down. So I'm going to look up Betty White. And you guys decide whether or not you think Betty White has appeared in more.
She's got to
or fewer
be in
things
more.
than Sean
Like, way
Connery.
more.
I will go less. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Kara on this, but I'm going to go less.
Cam says more. Dave's mom says more.
I almost want to go and say almost double more.
Ooh, double down.
I feel like she's been in a lot.
the first time ever somebody's going to do it. We're going to do double down. You still win if it's more, but you have the...
Just so you're aware, her first credit was in 1945, and her last credit was in 2019.
I'm going to say less. I like variety.
All right, so Tony says more. David's mom says more. Ryan says less. Kara says less. Cam says more. Dave
by the
does
way-
double down more.
I want to say, Ryan, you brought this up because of all the Queen memes. That is why.
So
People are
she has
saying.
appeared in more credited roles than Sean Connery, but not even close to twice as many.
No? Huh.
So it was closer than you think.
Closer than you think, but not twice as much.
Crazy. Who here watches the Golden Girls? I was hoping you'd raise your hand.
Again, I think we have the same Reddit feed.
Ah!
Is
But-
this related to Friends?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Oh, somebody posted on Reddit today that the oldest actor in Friends is older than the youngest actress on the Golden Girls when it debuted now.
What? That is sad.
Oh, and Ryan resubbed for 7 months. Brad said, I was so sad when Betty White died. I needed to update my free pass from girlfriend card.
Oh.
American Chris Hansen says, hello there. Hello there.
Hello
no Kara.
there.
No, blame Chip for no Kara. That's all we have to say about that.
Ridiculous. So I've just been seeing all
R
the
in
memes.
Ryan is for ridiculous.
Oh, boy.
Y is for you.
I have just
A
been,
in Ryan is for are you kidding me? N, I can't say.
Is that the song you were going to tell me
Yep.
earlier?
Music
Got
is
it.
still playing, Chris.
Damn it. All right.
No, so I've just been
Oh,
seeing...
wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. Is that what I need to do to turn it off? There we go. I did it right this time.
Okay. I've just been seeing all the memes this week that, oh, Betty White outlived the Queen, so America wins. Hardy, hardy, hardy. I don't feel like that's a competition.
Betty White didn't outlive the Queen.
Yeah, well,
Like
not
age-wise.
age-wise. Betty White made it to 99.
Oh, who cares?
You know, that's what I was like, that's a weird comparison.
Yeah, no, it's like if I was going to nominate like somebody to represent the United States, it'd be like Hulk Hogan.
Well,
Because Hulk Hogan could beat any British monarch in a fight.
Well, and here's the thing too, right? Crazy enough, I did a search because I was just curious. The royal family. If I say that, you think of Queen Elizabeth and William and Henry and
Yeah, that
Harry
whole-
and the whole thing, right? And Charles. There is quite a few active monarchs still to this day. Saudi Arabia, as a country, is 100% under total authoritarian rule by a king. He gets to determine everything. There is no checks and balances.
Well, a lot of the world during World War I was monarchies. Like it's as recent as about 100 years ago that it started shifting to mostly democracies or totalitarian dictatorships. You can argue that a dictatorship is a kingdom in a certain sense.
Right. I just can't believe it. And then so it was weird. Saudi Arabia they were something else before, like 1940 something. So it was like the first king of Saudi Arabia, So trying to figure out what's
something that had like the redistribution of countries during World War or at the end of World War II, I think is what created Saudi Arabia. I think
because I was trying to figure out that also piqued my curiosity of what's the longest traceable lineage today of a king, like a royal family, where it's like royal blood.
Probably. Ryan, that voice thing screwed everything up. Don't do that. That's completely Ryan's fault. He tried doing the voice changer, and it shuts off the mixer, and it turns on the voice changer source.
Oh, and did Kara do that?
Yeah.
What absolute trolls. This is what happens. You guys are left unchecked.
I thought I had voice changer up. Let me just check something real quick here.
For the record, I think somebody wanted an example of a voice changer. Let me ask you this, Chris.
Okay. When we reinstalled the graphics card, I didn't relaunch this, so it's working now.
Okay. Got it. Somebody unfreeze it.
So looking back at chat, American Chris Hansen, what do you mean what happened to Kara? I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, it's Kara.
I just gained a little weight.
Yep.
Grew a little facial hair.
I'm right here. Kara just didn't shave.
My voice got a little deeper.
And now Kara's going to spin the wheel.
Oh, look at that. Well, no one can see it.
That's true.
So the voice changer should be working currently unless it's set to clean. Let me... Oh, where is it? There. Now we should sound all crazy. Does that make you happy?
Do we sound all crazy?
I think so. Man, it's been so long since I've actually run this thing. Where's StreamBot? I can't remember how to turn it off. Chat, let us know if we sound crazy. And there's a wheel spin redeem.
We figured wait until the people can see.
Okay. I'll unfreeze now. Sorry. I'm looking at too many things. We still sound normal. Okay,
our voice sounds normal.
Oh, wait. Hold on. How about now? Now does it work? Is it working now?
Can you hear me now?
I think I have it set up for 1 minute.
Oh, got it. So it took that long to get all the bugs out?
No, that's still not working? I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. That...
Got the tunnel vision on the binocs.
Okay, now is it working? Damn, you guys are so needy. Need all the things to work all the time. Who do you think I am?
Kessel Brad completely just called you out.
What? No, that has to be working now. It can't not be. I changed all the right things.
This is funny.
Oh my God.
Whose butt's hanging out in the pot? Is that American Chris Hansen? He dropped the butt and it landed in the pot. That's so funny.
Kara, you're not allowed back.
Yeah, see, there you go. Kara's not allowed back. Kara is on vacation with her family. So play the intro? We've beaten Chris.
Play the intro. Intro to what?
The show. Why does he want to
start the stream all over?
Oh, yeah. We're a little deep into it for that. If I do it again, I think it'll stop and start the recording for the
that's annoying. So. Sorry, Brad.
Hold on a second here.
You guys have beaten Chris.
Yep, input. Output should be. Yeah, no, that's fine. Advanced audio settings. Yeah, that's.
I still can't believe a roll of white filament.
I
On a
don't
spool
understand what
made that.
this should be making high
That
pitched
was only
noises.
about 2/3.
Really?
There's 630 some grams, I think.
But can you believe it?
Yeah.
Like here it is just
Oh, I
wound
know.
up, and then it's that.
Are you talking about filament?
Yeah. Like you see the roll of filament, and then you have that, and that made that. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I can see why you're addicted to helmets now.
It's fun.
Well, here. So I'm just gonna switch this to. Do we sound like something absolutely insane now?
Doo-doo-doo.
Turn it off and on again. Kara, get out of here. IT crowding me.
She hates IT crowd. I love it. Still
I
nothing.
think that's. Yeah, my
So
my
here
brain
we
is
go.
stalled out for sure. How is this not working?
Brad says Brownie's AI has salted out,
Stalled out.
stalled out.
I genuinely
scary.
don't understand.
Problem is when I take off my glasses, I can't see how scary it
Right?
looks because I can't see without my glasses.
I wanted to take mine off, but then I'm like, I can't see it anyway, so it's pointless.
You look like a skin grafted burn victim.
Me?
All right, I'm going to try one thing. I know that this is working before. Input, Rode microphone, yep. Output, I'm going to output to the Rodecaster Pro.
This is by far
Right,
my
now do we
favorite part
sound
of
insane?
everything.
I'm mad at this now. So
You sound insane with no voice filter needed, for the record.
Is this working now? Did we figure it out? No! No! Oh, God.
How is it not working?
It's inconceivable that it does not work. There's literally nothing else I could do to this. Okay, whatever. I'm switching it to clean. Stop doing the redeems for that. Just use every
Reaching tipping point.
Ooh, I just banged my leg. Just redeem all the other fun toys I've given you instead.
Oh, Kara sent me a screenshot of me without my glasses so that I can see it.
Oh, nice.
That's so nice, Kara. Who spelt that?
Kara.
Did she spelled inconceivable wrong, didn't she?
Yep. It's very
Rage quit
conceivable
the
that she spelled
stream.
inconceivable. I think it was a speed type.
So Kara, who redeemed the banana? That's you, David.
It's on me.
Ryan did.
We can't do the wheel spin that somebody redeemed because the banana's in the way.
Well, what do? This has been like the longest derail, like from a technical standpoint, I think we've ever had.
Well, David, you don't have to worry. Like we're getting, we can't keep up because of this.
Do you remember when we used to have that fogging issue?
Yes, with the camera.
Yeah.
That might be the only other thing that was like this technically annoying to me.
So the voice not working and then the fogging thing.
Yeah.
Imagine this. We were in such a small space that the combination of Chris, Kara's, and I's body heat and the cameras running was enough, or no, our bodies breathing was enough expelled humidity in the air.
To raise the humidity levels above the dew point of the room to let condensation form on the lens.
On the lens. And it would get foggy.
Yep.
Foggy. And it doesn't matter how many HD hard drives are recording the podcast. You're only as good as your input.
Yep.
And it's like nothing you can go back and retroactively fix. All right, we need another wheel spin.
Wheel spin time.
Now, because Kara's gone, we didn't get a chance to update the board with all the suggestions last week because there is a lot of good ones. So enjoy old school.
Jeremy explains science.
Who did the redeem on that one?
I want to say it was Brad.
Hold on.
Who redeemed that? Be honest. You think you guys would have been doing this for
That
years?
was...
Brad says this stream belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, Ryan did.
What? Nobody
think
redeemed
no.
a wheel spin recently, according to the log.
Somebody did though, because we were like, "Oh, we're gonna wait."
There's
'cause it
one
was-
from
48
Ryan.
minutes ago was the most recent one, and that was from Cam.
No, Ryan has one.
Does he?
Yeah.
It didn't show up for me. All right, Ryan, what science topic do you want Jeremy to
Here's what's even
explain?
funnier, Chris. Your systems are failing you rapidly.
Apparently, that's just straight up Twitch failing me.
I just scrolled up in chat and Ryan had the last one redeemed.
But yeah, we talked about it because we couldn't redeem it during the freezed era,
Yeah.
and then the banana
Oh,
stop
yeah.
was 2.
And the freeze era was like the beginning of me like having my meltdown about the voice.
Oh, Kara said Ryan.
Ryan, are you there? Are you participating?
So Brad makes a very
His
good
phone
point.
died.
He enjoys. Are you serious, or are you just
I
estimating?
I'm guessing.
You're probably
His
right.
phone's always dead.
It's sad if David knows that Ryan's phone's always dead. That's what's hilarious. to me.
Yeah, well, that's probably how much I complain about it.
Brad doesn't redeem anything. He goes, I'm just saying. Brad, how many tangent crystals do you have? Please tell us.
Erie Adam, hello. Thank you for commenting on the Darth Vaders. Unfortunately, I can't get any closer than that on them, but that's just one of those things. Like they're one of the first things that I'll print whenever I switch to a new filament color, just to get an idea of what it's going to look like.
I need to pick something like that to do every time I get a new
Well, and I
one.
have those. Yo, here. Do you want to add this to the stack of Lego studs?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, you do that. You do a close-up, Chris. Erie Adam. Here, I picked the black one. Here is a Darth Vader. He's really cool, but I probably picked the worst color on the face of the planet. Yeah, I did. I picked the worst color. That's on me.
Oh, he wants you to explain electricity.
Oh, no, not again. I was just in the car with Steve and Cam last night, and they were talking about 3-phase, and I was left out of the conversation because I still don't get it. But I can explain AC and DC.
Remember, this is what you say is canon about this scientific topic. This does not have to be quote unquote accurate to anything.
I can explain electricity, my friends. I understand circuits. Circuits are extremely easy. Like a light switch, right? There's 2 ways to send power to a light switch. You have a light. Well, not the banana. I used my hands. Who did the banana? Tony did the banana. Oh my goodness. All right.
It'd be better if the peel was your hands.
Because then it would be my peel would be going ham NATO here.
Oh, that's right. It's Adam Nori is Erie Adam.
Got it.
That doesn't mean that we respect you any less.
Anyways, so you got a light, you got power, you have 2 wires. The power can go into the switch. Then you carry the neutral, goes all the way to the light, and you only switch the hot. Okay? Or you can send power into the light, but then what you do is instead of hooking the power up to the light fixture, you hook it up to a wire, one of the 2 wires that runs down to the switch. So you have a black and a white. You hook it up to the black goes down to the switch, you make the connection on the switch, and then the white goes back up, and you tape that to the hot lug on the light, and that's how you wire a switch. It's called what's called a switch wire when you use a wire like that. So power into the light, power. That all makes sense. AC, right? Alternating current. And that must be frequency, like the wire electricity is going back and forth. And then when you plug something in, the electricity going back and forth goes into the wire and does its thing and turns boom, you have light. DC, it just goes one direction and then it stops. It terminates at where it goes.
I believe you. I'm not going to challenge you at all. I think that is a...
So
Brad
AC,
says, can you slap your own face with a banana peel? I doubt so.
if I had a banana
Adam
peel,
says, this is why the banana is teaching me electrical theory.
if I had a banana, sure.
Kara redeemed a hello there. Hello there.
Does Obi-Wan also say it?
On the redeem, yes.
Nice.
I just also.
I never hear it when I'm watching the stream.
I have it pretty low, just 'cause I don't want it to be blasting through. The thing that I use for the sound effects board thing, those sounds are all wildly different levels, and I tried to tune them, but they come through. I erred toward the side of quiet. So.
Hello there, and then it yells out at 800 degrees, and then there's cars.
Brad agrees with Adam that I demand to see that banana's permit.
The banana's what?
Permit.
Oh, to do electrical work? He
Yep.
doesn't have it. Kara Ruth, she just wants somebody to do a Lego walk, doesn't she?
So if it lands on Kara Lego Walk, she gets to do it when she comes back because I'm not taking my boots off.
Oh, I don't blame you at all. If you do a Lego walk with those boots on, goodbye Legos. Yep.
Oh, you got another one from Ryan. $5
$5
for
for
pizza
pizza
fund.
fund.
We're up to 20
Oh,
bucks.
another one?
Well,
We get what, 2 pizzas?
depends on where you get your pizzas from nowadays.
That's
true.
Another $5 to Pizza.
Dang,
Shut
racking
up.
it up. 25 bucks. You can almost get a small pizza from Sammy's now.
You need like a cha-ching sound that you can play, like cha-ching, cha-ching.
I can play this.
I can hear that. Who's that?
It's playing through the headphones.
Oh, that's through the headphone. That's a fun way to do it. It's just the right volume to be able to hear it.
So
Somebody cheer, and then Kara can get booted into the drop to like make her swing over to the side. Dang,
another wheel spin.
What if it's another $5? I will triple down and we'll put $15 into the pizza fund.
And choose the next 3D print. What are we printing next, Tony?
Tony, what are we printing next?
Adam said, I love the Sammy's reference. $25 gets you a coupon for 10% off of us.
So, I have a high ranking. This is story time, right?
All right, hold on the story just for 1 second. Brad said, speaking of permits, I had to pay $550 for windows, and the guy was in my house for less than 2 minutes. Permits are a joke.
See, they are a joke. I agree, Brad.
I also
with you
agree.
more.
Your dad's entire job was useless.
He was a building. He gave out the permits. He thinks the majority of the stuff he was looking at is a little ridiculous sometimes.
That is true. Your dad had no false illusion of importance.
Right. What went on with Stream Protocol Droid?
Somebody
does.
for commands. Adam asked for commands.
Got it.
Yeah, bang commands.
Whoa, we haven't seen
Oh,
that one
it's
in
that
a
long
long time.
Night vision time, baby.
All right, this is a cool story. You guys should think this is interesting. All right, so this morning is PT test day today, and so like any good person, I didn't take it today because I have a cold. So instead, I ate a donut.
You didn't take your test today?
Nope. Pushed it off to next month.
I don't continue shaking your head. This is ridiculous. All he's done for the last month is like, oh, this PT test. I'm so fat and old and worthless.
And okay, so all right, so I ate a donut, right? So I go upstairs, and there's two types of situations you can find yourself in. Somebody treats you to donuts; those end up in our shop's break room.
Yep.
Those are free. You don't ever pay. The building's common room, if you find a donut in there, it's expected for you to throw $1 into the pot. Or they like to say kitty for whatever reason. Throw $1 into the kitty.
They're interchangeable in my mind.
You've heard that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
My dad would always say kitty.
So you throw $1. So, anyways,
If that isn't the story of Jeremy's life.
I walk in there, and there's a box of donuts, and these are huge donuts. Like, I mean, these things are ridiculously big donuts. So I go in there, and I'm like, oh, that is a sweet donut. So I pull my wallet, take $1, and there's the cup right there next to the donuts, and I toss my $1 in, and I grab my donut, and I'm going around the counter to get a napkin, okay? My coworker Kyle walks up. He's like, hey, man, where do you put the money for the donuts? And I was like, oh, right in that cup right there. So he chucks $1 in, grabs a donut, and we walk around the counter. We're sitting there. There is a high-ranking officer sitting there, and he looks down at the cup, and he slowly pulls out the first $1, and he slowly pulls out the second $1. This just happened to me today. And he goes, hey, Jeremy, that was my drink. I didn't look at the cup. I threw it right in his drink. Right in there. And he didn't see me do it. It was when Kyle asked me where to put his money. I said, oh, in that cup. So he probably thinks I'm sitting here trolling him and I'm just throwing my money. I literally thought it was the pot because it was a red Solo cup filled with ice water. I mean, it wasn't a irreplaceable drink, but the look of defeat on his face was unbelievable.
You're lucky he didn't make you do your PT test.
Yeah, right? But it was just so funny because he like pulls it out and it's just soaking wet. He sets it down. So then I take it and then I put it in the actual kitty. And then
So two sopping wet
two
dollars.
sopping wet dollars. And then Kyle was like, you really should have just let him keep the money for all the work he went through. Like,
The best part is you didn't notice there was water in it before you
well,
threw it in
that's just
there.
it. Like, I looked and I didn't see it. I was like, oh, that's the kitty. It's a box of donuts with a red Solo cup. What's a red Solo Cup doing on by a box of
Yeah,
donuts?
so he walked away from his drink is what happened.
He was sitting there.
Oh!
He was sitting there. Then there was one red cup, then the box of donuts. Because we have a general snack fund.
Why is he sitting that close to the
That's
donuts?
the thing.
Why is he sitting that close? He's like, I'm getting ready for another one. I just can't get too far away.
Can't get too far away.
If you gave away his rank, would it give away who it is?
No, I don't think so.
I'm just curious because you're a
Lieutenant
master
Colonel.
sergeant. What's that?
He's a lieutenant colonel.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah, this is like, there's a set finite amount of colonels, floorboard colonels that can even be on any military installation. And then so to get a lieutenant colonel, the one below that, it's like a big deal because, there can be more, but there's still not that many of them. So I just thought I could not believe I did it. And I said sorry, but it was like I was laughing. So I'm like, what are the odds that I put it right into his drink? Just kaplunk. Just completely oblivious.
And you don't know. I feel like I would notice the resist. I guess you could think it's like cash that's already in there though.
Yeah, yep. That's what I thought. I just thought I was tunking it right into the thing.
You were so obsessed with this donut, no other sensory input was going to deny you the satisfaction of eating this pastry.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And so the thing that was trippy is there is a general snack pot, and that's a coffee jar. But when people bring donuts in, it's only for drills, so there's a separate kitty for the donuts. There always has been a separate kitty. So
I do want to go back. Kara did attempt to cheat, and the stream protocol droid found her out.
What'd she cheat?
No, if you type in bang cheat, all it does is say Kara was trying to cheat for shame.
Oh, because she saw the chat command and wanted
Yeah.
to see what it did?
Yep.
That is funny.
And then Adam said, how to not make friends. Follow Jeremy for more helpful tips.
Yes, exactly. Do not put your money in the drinks. But it was so funny.
Of a much higher ranking military person.
Right? I just thought it was because it's like, how do you even apologize for that? Because it's an honest mistake. So it's like, I honestly did not feel bad. It was an honest mistake.
No, it's a funny story. I think it's like I think he got more out of it than the wasted drink too.
Right.
He's like, you won't believe these two jerk
I'm sitting there
NCOs.
having breakfast or whatever. I got my cup and my donut.
And it's like not just one, but two guys came up and shoved $1 in my drink.
It just shove it right in there, It's
Would have been better
too
if he just
funny.
picked it up and walked away.
Yeah, I picked him out and dropped them and then walked off.
Yeah, right. Or he just pocketed them and then walked off and two soggy bills in his.
Or dropped them and then picked up the drink and just hard stared at you while he drank
Right.
the water.
Right. Brad said, I am more impressed with the Air Force every story. Ice cream social, donuts instead of PT tests. I swear I have a hard job, but I can't convince you. I can sit here all night long and try to convince you.
So when I called you today,
Don't
I
even
gotta
talk.
go. I'm working really hard. And there's so much commotion and laughter in the background. It's like, yep, sounds like you're working real hard.
So, all right. You guys want to hear that story too?
Sure.
So here's the deal. I learned a new card trick, and I've been showing people at work, and they're all super impressed. Okay. And my other coworker said, hey, I know a really good card trick, but you have to be my companion or whatever, right? You got to be it. This is the oldest trick in the book. You put down two rows of 3 cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then you set the deck off to the right side of these cards, okay? I'm in on it. He has the person pick a card, shows everybody in the room. Then he turns his back or goes around the corner. They mix up the cards, but they put them back in the same order. He comes back and instantly grabs where they put the card, right? We must have did that 10 times. They did it at my desk. I'm sitting at my desk, and you show one person. He was showing one person. And so what I do is I pick up and take a drink of my water bottle, and I set it down either in the upper left, centered on the deck, right.
Oh,
So the position of my water bottle tells him where the card is. No one could figure it out. I'm just sitting here drinking a sip of water every single time and then setting it down. So they thought they got it. They left it in the same spot 3 times in a row. And he would come back in, he'd look, he goes, you guys didn't even move it. And they would get all mad. Then he would leave and come back. So David called me.
So this is drill, right?
well, it's
Aren't you guys supposed to be making sure that America is safe from foreign terror?
This was during lunch. No, it wasn't. It was break time.
Okay.
I was overwhelmed though. at
Ryan
my
said
desk.
working hard, doing card tricks.
Yep.
Adam said, can you imagine if you'd had change like quarters and realized your mistake before he did?
Oh yeah, kaplunk, and it just yeah, that would have been way more awkward, totally more awkward. But David had to happen to call me when everybody was like, so we showed one person, right, and that was just supposed to be it. It was supposed to be like a thing, and it was done. Like, hey, here's a cool trick. But you do it, and then people are like, well, I want to see. Then I want to see. Then I want to see. And here, everybody in my shop is sitting like around my cubicle. Break time. Break time. Kara probably just gets more mad every single time I tell a story because she's like, your job's so easy. You have all this time. You can actually look at your phone. I can't look at my phone.
Well, so people at McDonald's can't look at their phone either, Kara.
I know.
You can go work at McDonald's.
So,
Brad's comment.
what do you say?
When the guys pull out their parachutes, it's all playing cards.
Cards and donut crumbs.
crumbs.
You know it.
No anvils because those are too heavy.
No anvils because those are too heavy.
Ryan says work time is break time from home.
Yep. Anyways, I loved it. It was.
Kara used the Fire Nation emote.
See, she's mad now. She's real mad. But it was funny. Yeah, so David called me though, and I was laughing because I'm like trying to tell him like, well, I got to call you back because I'm literally surrounded by a bunch of, Neanderthals and.
Fooled by your simpleton card trick.
Yep, they could not figure it out. Could not figure it out.
So what's the card trick that you were doing?
If I had a deck of cards, I would show you. But basically, I will tell you what the card would appear to be like. Is I deal you a card.
Yep.
Then I take the deck.
Is it a force or is it a free choice?
That's a force.
Okay.
You know the ways of the tricks.
Yeah. Well, so
then
that's like, and then anything from there is just about manipulating the card to where you want it. So I don't need to know the rest of the trick then.
Well, come on. Well, you want?
Oh, you can say it if you want.
Here's how it would appear. So I hand you a card. Then I take the deck. I flip it over. I start dealing cards face down. I tell you to tell me when to stop. You say stop. I stop. I flip the decks over, right? So I've got a deck. I've got two decks because I was like dealing them down. So I've got what I flipped over and then the other deck, right?
Yep.
So then what I do is I flip the top of the first deck and then that'll be a number. So then whatever that card is, I deal out that many off the top of the other deck and I set that down. So I've got 3 decks at this point. One with a flipped top. I dealt off the top of one, and then I've got, so 2 that aren't flipped, and then your card.
Yep.
So I flip the next card over on the next top deck. It's the same card as the first one. I flip the other card over. That's also the same, and then your card is also the same.
Oh, okay. So it's a 4-part force.
Yes, it's a 4-part force. Yep,
I see.
exactly.
So what card did you pick? Like a 5 or something? Or?
So what I try to do, I like to add a little pizzazz. I really do. It's instantaneously pizzazz. David, you look so ridiculous. I can't even. I can't even deal with it. I try to probe people for their number, and like have them pick a number between 1 and 10. I have somebody else ask them that. Then when they say the number, I go do the whole trick. And then when they see the numbers pop up, and then they were just talking about that number, it makes it even more bizarre. I typically do it with 5.
Okay.
I do it with 5s. But I'll do it, 2, 3, 4.
And it only takes 5 minutes to set it up.
Only takes like 1 minute to sort of.
Well, because you're just setting the deck up beforehand because you know
Yeah.
where everything's at.
Yep.
But it's interesting.
It's a fun little trick.
I get obsessed with Magic, so I learn all the different things. I was wondering if it was like, is he going to do like a double lift? Is he going to do some sort of like Pharaoh shuffle?
Well, just the way you asked about forced versus like, is it random? That was already, I'm like, Chris knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But people don't even pay attention when you do a card trick. If I like fan the deck and let them pick one, or I just give them a card, just starting the trick, people already buy off. So it's like, here's your card. They get it and they're all excited. They're holding it. They're, waiting, I'm like, all right. And then Kara ruined it, like immediately ruined it. So by doing it a couple times, you have to get through a certain amount of cards to let the trick work, as in 5, because of where they're located. So I start over and I was like, all right, I'm going to start dealing cards down. And as soon as whenever you want, tell me to stop. I put 1 down. She said, stop.
Well, so
what
here's the out. Here's the out. Because I watch a lot of stuff about doing magic tricks. We're like, yeah, just like that. You'll tell me to stop. And then you just keep putting cards down.
Well, so you know what I do now? I don't tell them the rules until I clear the card I need to clear. So now I just start counting, and I go, okay, now whenever you want to tell me to stop.
Yeah, so that's a different out too. But yeah, it's like if
Yeah.
somebody catches you in a spot where you're at, you just keep going. You'll be like, yeah, exactly like that. Just tell me when to stop.
Because
Like-
you only need to get through 5 cards.
Yeah, so yeah, you can just use patter to stall them out to get to
That's good. That's a
next
good
one.
one. So let me ask you
Jay
this. then.
Sankey Magic on YouTube. Brilliant.
Is he a good magician?
Oh, incredible magician.
So let me ask you this. Here's the other problem I've run into, and it really does annoy me. People let you run out the deck, and they don't tell you to stop. So how would you deal with that?
If you're getting to the point of no return, then you stop and be like, the 4-card force is a little bit harder with this, but like if you're getting to a point where it's like you need to start breaking this to the next thing, you just start breaking the next thing. It's like, okay, well, I'm just going to start another pile here until you tell me to stop.
Yeah, that's basically what I probably would have to do is restart.
So it's like that. So Jay Sankey, like his big thing is like if you're doing a trick and you're ever getting put into a corner or whatever, it's like you need to figure out where the corners are and know outs essentially, right?
Got it.
Ways to get out of the thing. And so like one of the best things you can do is have a backup trick set up. So like if you like forcing a card, always force the same card, and you can just have a 5 of clubs in your pocket.
Got it.
And you're like, you do the whole thing, and it's like, well, I guess your card was here the whole time. Like,
Funny.
So you give yourself different outs, so if somebody breaks your trick, you can still get
That's
that.
genius.
Yeah.
That's fun. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
If my fingers weren't so stupid short, like the only thing that I can't do is like the more advanced deck manipulation. Like I try doing that stuff, but it's just I can't grip the deck right.
Well, that's why I like this forced card trick is because there's no deck manipulation. It's pre-set-up.
Yeah.
So you go into it and you're just controlling the scenario, and that's what's fun about that one.
And there's a lot of them that are like self-working tricks where it's like it's all just based on like numbers. So it's like whenever there's something where they're counting cards, it's either something where the deck has been set up or it's a self-working trick based on the idea that the deck has so many cards in it.
Here's the next thing. Here's what I love down about the trick that when you called me, what we were doing. The reason why everybody was going absolutely insane when you called me is they rearranged the pile. Now, normally you would need an out to make that work. But what I loved is that the guy and I were on the same wavelength, and it worked out. I could still signal the location of the card because they put it in the bottom left-hand corner. They made a pyramid instead of a 2x2. I was still able to put my water bottle away, and he was committed, and he didn't falter at all. He's like, nice try. You guys rearranged it. You're not supposed to do that, but here. And then he pulls their card, and they lost it, and then David called me. So it was like they thought that they had us, and they didn't know I was part of it, though. That's the
thing about plants is like if you can get somebody in on the inside that nobody thinks would be on the inside.
Yep.
That's where your money's at.
Yep. But it was funny because then when they kept putting it in the same spot and they're like, oh, come back, I just didn't even have to move my water bottle, you know? Like it was just there. Yeah. So they're like, congratulations, you played yourself, you know, because I don't have to do anything. You're not even doing anything. But yeah, plant ones, it's amazing the impact it had on everybody. Because like I said, there was like one person watching and then you have, oh, I want to see it. And then I want to see it. Then I want to see it. And it was a whole thing.
So Dave's mom says, Jeremy's so mean. Brad says, quote, I try to add a little pizzazz. Then he goes on to say, Kara ruins everything. That's the pot calling the kettle black. And then Brad said, the only Jeremy can talk about card tricks for 20 minutes. That's the real magic.
They're fun.
I could probably do a podcast about magic.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe we should do that just next week. Do a podcast about magic.
Like, there's so many crazy cool, like, this is going to sound absolutely unrelated. I watched a video about yo-yos.
Yep.
And yo-yo routines, I think it's like one of those like 20 levels videos. Have you seen those before? Where it's like, I can't remember, maybe it's GQ or something like that, where it's like they'll do 20 levels of
expertise.
Yeah. So like, here's level 1 of yo-yoing. It's just like somebody yo-yoing. It's like level 2 of yo-yoing. And they take you through all these gradated steps until like you're at like the top level.
Yes.
So without inventing a new move, because like, and I'm sure there's plenty of new yo-yo moves to be invented, but without inventing a new move, basically all you can do is invent new routines where you're chaining together other elements, basically. Right. So like around the world is like a tier 4 move or something, right? But you go around the world into a cat's cradle and then into a thing, and then these combos start getting names. So then you just start slotting combos into your routine where it's like, oh, I did this into this into this into this. So it's like doing like an ollie into a nose grind, but then if you do that and that and that, now it's something totally different, right?
Yes.
So magic is the exact same thing. There's like 10 moves in card magic. That's it. There's forces, there's palms, there's double lifts, there's gimmicked decks, and then there's a couple other like harder to explain things, essentially, right? But for the most part, like, it's the same basic moves. And the real part of the magic comes from the story that people are telling.
Right.
Like, you're building the scenario, right? So it's like you could be talking about, like, you could do your trick with the forcing the 4 cards.
Yep.
You could make it about the four horsemen of the apocalypse, right?
Right.
You know, so it's like, I want you to pick this card or whatever. It's like, oh, it's interesting that you picked that card because I have a feeling that, like, you know, it's like, it could be a dangerous card. You know, it's like, it might be the signal of something coming. You know, it's like, like, pick your number. It's like, oh, maybe that's the number of days until this guy shows up and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, yeah, and you have the 4th horseman or whatever, right?
Yep.
So it's like it's the exact same trick, but contextually totally different.
Well, it's funny you say that because I saw the trick presented to me and I immediately tweaked it ever so slightly by trying to incorporate their favorite number into it.
Yeah, so
it's like,
and that's part of the showmanship thing. It's like you find the story, you cater it around
yep,
the way that you want to present it. So then,
and it's fun from a magician's point of view to just lean into the embellishment of it because before I would do any reveals, then when I do these, I'd be like, wait a minute, you weren't talking about the number 3 earlier, were you? And they're like, well, yeah. They flip the first one into 3, you know, and it's like, oh, well, let's count down 3, and then it's 3, and then they lose it because it's like they felt like that extra connection,
yeah,
you know, to like that. So you really, it's better when people feel. That's why I like the upside down. Like, hey, you tell me when to stop. Yeah. The more you can put the control into, like, let them think they had control, and it's so funny because then they don't.
Yeah, so it's called being ahead, right? Oh. Like any choice that doesn't matter, that seems like it matters to them. Like the more ahead you are, the more things like that you can give to them. You know, so it's like it's absolutely insane.
It's so much fun. Well, David, you have officially made it through a full-length podcast on air.
You only had to listen to us talk about magic for 20 minutes.
I
like watching magic. I haven't tried doing any, but
I should teach you this one. You do it to your kids. You'll love it. Anybody can do it. It's so easy.
Right before Nick, who lives in Vegas now, quit at KBJR.
Yeah,
we had a pact with each other that we were each going to learn a magic trick every week and do it for the other person.
Oh, cool.
And we got through 1 week of that, and then he left. He's like, oh, I got this job, and I need to leave like now, basically. Or he didn't get a job. His wife got the Olympic trial thing.
Yeah.
His wife is an Olympic hopeful, so.
Unbelievable.
Insane, the life he lives.
And I ate a donut.
But you got a good story out of it.
I did.
You ate a $10,000 cookie. You forced $2 into your CO or ACE, or an upper officer's drink.
It cracks me up because the one would have been like, oh, accidental. But the fact I've just blindly been like, yeah, put it over there in that cup, buddy. Like, just so.
You were 100% confidence.
I was 100% confidence.
All right, well, I'm going to start doing the outro. In honor of Dave being here, should we just raid Loyal then? Or
yeah.
Since he's
sure,
that's who Dave likes to suggest anyway.
All right, well, he's not on tonight.
Who's going to say "May the Force be with you"? Just so we sort that out before we get to the end. Dave's going to. Okay. All right, so I do want to say thank you for everybody for joining us this evening, and I want to apologize to everybody listening to the audio-only version of the podcast. Yet again, we provided you with nothing of substance, but you could always join us live Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/RiseThePodcast, or you can check out our old videos at youtube.com/RiseThePodcast. All of them are there, the classics, the not-so-classics. It's your choice. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to comment down below with what your favorite magic trick is. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video to show YouTube that you want to see more content like that. Again, everybody, you've been awesome. Don't... Stalling. Oh no, he's not on. I guess we're going to raid Vile Mods. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us. That's super fun interacting with everybody every night. I think we talked about some cool stuff. We got a great suggestion from Steve. You guys rock. Thank you all so much for watching. And of course,
may the Force be with you.